Simon, well done.
Thank you.
Such a great film.
Glad you
So
enjoyed
good.
it.
Obviously, first time stepping up and writing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a massive temptation to not give yourself all the best lines?
It was, yeah. It's funny when you write for yourself. Fortunately, I had an amazing co-writer in Doug Jung, and I was able to say, Doug, is it okay if Scotty's in this scene? Or he would suggest to me that Scotty be in a scene, or I didn't want to give myself too much, but at the same time, I didn't want to give myself too little and be a little, it's an ensemble piece. This film, everyone gets their moment, and so. Yeah, it was just a case of keeping an eye on it, really. I love writing for all of those characters, and I love writing Bones, and I love writing Spock, and so it never felt like I wasn't in it all the time, you know what I mean?
That was such a great relationship between Bones and Spock in this.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Are you really happy then with how it kind of all turned out? Because I feel like, especially, I know when I do work, you can be very self-critical.
Yeah.
So how do you feel?
I feel, you know what, I saw it for the first time. I mean, I've seen it in various cuts throughout the post-production process, but last Saturday, my wife and daughter and I watched it with its finished score and the mostly finished effects, and I felt so proud and so happy, because it isn't just... there's so many people go into making a movie. I mean, you watch the credits of a movie, there are hundreds, thousands sometimes of people that make a movie, and all those creative people come together. And, Doug and I, as the writers, were one part of that. And so you do feel like you can take pride in it, because it's not just you.
Did you not feel like fans were going to hate you, that you destroyed the Enterprise as much as you did? When that happened, I was like... No, what are you doing? I've grown up with this shit. What are you doing?
When initially that came up, I was a little against it, and I argued about doing it, because I felt like, it happened in Star Trek 3, it happened in, I think, First Contact or Generations it happened in. But the fact is, it hasn't happened in this timeline. And the thing about the Enterprise is it is the glue, seemingly, that holds those people together. And we were interested in what would happen if you took that away. Would they still remain as a family? That was the kind of, the idea behind that, was to take away the thing that supposedly forced them to be together, to see if they would actually be together anyway. One
of the things that obviously destroys the Enterprise is obviously going into the nebula and into the unknown. Mm-hmm. I was asking the other guys this about when you go into the unknown, whether in real life you are scared. Like, 'cause it's one of the things that comes up, whether you're scared about going to the unknown or whether you really relish that adventure of not knowing.
Well, they say life begins outside your comfort zone, and you can stay in your comfort zone for your whole life, but you might not feel like you've particularly lived. It's always good to push the boundaries, to get into the unknown, because then you'll find out more stuff and your comfort zone will grow, and the idea is to keep pushing outwards and exploring your own galaxy. And I think it's important, don't be afraid of the unknown. Be wary, be careful, but don't be afraid.
Okay. Oh, that's good advice for me, because I'm scared of everything. Do you think it really caters, this film, for the die-hard fans as well as maybe a new audience to the franchise? Because I feel like there's so much action and everything, which people are going to love, and it doesn't focus too much on like the maybe different kind of races and species and all of that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it has its roots very much in the traditional Star Trek idea of exploration and philosophy. These films, unlike a TV show which can take its time over a series of however many episodes, these films have to be kind of events, and they have to be quite explosive and big. So the trick was to marry that cinematic spectacle with the tenets of the original Star Trek thing, and that's what Doug and I really tried to do. So what you have there are some interesting thoughts about the Federation and whether it's a kind of an aggressive or a positive thing, and hopefully nice character beats when the characters find themselves alone and stranded and scared, and the relationships grow. And
what does the future hold for Star Trek now? Because it can definitely continue on from this film, but where do you see it?
I just hope it keeps going. It's been going for 50 years in one form or another. It started out in September 1966, and here we are in 2016, and it's still going strong. And I think it's because it's a very positive, optimistic idea. It's the idea that we survive into the future, and not only that, we work together, not just with each other, but with other species from other planets for the greater good, to coin a phrase. And I think that's what appeals to people, because deep down, that's what we all want, really. However much we disagree and fight, and however much horror there is in the world. I think the vast majority of people just want that peace, tolerance, harmony, because that life's easier like that.
Exactly. What a great message. Well, I did love the film, and I'm not going to go into it, but I thought it was a wonderful tribute to both Anton and to Leonard as well. I was in tears at the end. It just took me on a roller coaster. I thought it was a beautiful film.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Simon.
Thanks for
it was
saying
wonderful.
So. Thank you.